I made a post around a month or so ago about potentially redesigning my VTuber because now that I have a self-sona, I think I can allow myself to go crazy. For those that haven't been around for a while, I had an era where I wanted to do gaming content but remain faceless. So what did I do? Rig and create a VTuber. Her design was really plain and there wasn't any lore. She was kind of supposed to be me, I guess, like a persona. I actually have the videos of me suffering still up, but I'll definitely warn you guys for the bad quality. I did not have good equipment back then. Still don't, but I think my videos are passable now. Anyways, it was kind of a waste that I made a VTuber so plain, so now we'll give her a redesign and spice her up. Now, this is going to be split into two parts because let's say I was tired as hell after recording the footage, and also something like this does take time, so yeah. Hopefully, I'll get part 2 out by next week. The first round of concepts is just me messing around with literally everything. I could have kept the hair the same, but I thought it'd be fun to see if I can change it up. I drew the hair and clothes on separate layers, so let's say someone liked the hair on one concept but the clothes on another, I could easily just switch them around without much suffering. Of course, before you guys could see the hair ideas I had, I started out with sketching the base. It was suffering as usual though, considering that full bodies were never fun for me. It's even worse when I have to draw feet. I don't know why I spent a good while on the feet, even though she'll obviously be wearing closed-toed shoes, but oh well. The first hair idea was basically just the same hair I had on my old VTuber design. Also the hairstyle that my self-sona has, since that is literally my hair in real life. Maybe just a bit neater though, since I think my hair is a hot mess. Of course, the hair for the VTuber is a lot longer because I like pretty long hair. Though I think if my hair was actually that long in real life, I'd hate my life. It'd definitely be a lot of maintenance. So I'll just live out the long hair without the commitment of it on my designs or muses. For the second hair idea, I thought it'd be interesting to do a side part. Also potentially do something that is a bit crazier for my standards because I think I usually have just basic hairstyles on my muses. That's just a me problem though because I usually try to make muses fit in a setting more similar to reality. That way if I ever want to write out some alternate universe with them, I can just add more and go crazy. It's easier to add to characters than take away. I decided to make her hair split down into two near the bottom because I thought it was fun. Though once you put on the clothes, you probably can't see that all too well. The third hairstyle is definitely extremely different from the rest. I wanted to do hime cut bangs because I always thought those were cute on muses. But afterwards, I actually didn't know the direction I was going with this, so I kind of just made things up. It's a pretty simple hairstyle now that I think about it, but it's cute. I could potentially use it for a muse one day if I ever have the will to make another one. The final hairstyle was sort of a combination of the first and second ideas. I kept the bangs of the first one, but the ahoge and hair split of the second one. I think it turned out pretty nicely, but I don't have too much to say about that one. I mean, I really was just drawing things. I think that's how this first phase usually goes for me. We're finally onto the clothes, and I think this is where you can see things start to go really crazy for this first round. So for this first one, I kept the bows I gave my original design, but I leaned more heavily into the mermaid aesthetic. You guys didn't see it in the full body of the old VTuber, but I had a mermaid toggle for her because I thought that was fun. Also for those that don't know, I absolutely adore mermaids. So I wanted a few more fish-like features. She probably would have had a mermaid form too. I was searching up a lot of references to get inspiration, and I think this one turned out really pretty. For the second design, I knew immediately I wanted these wing-like things on one side of her. I don't know why, but the idea was calling out to me. Then I decided that the concept I'll give this one is like a minor deity of creativity. I say minor deity because if I said goddess, she'd seem all-powerful and I'm not here for that. So minor deity of creativity it is. She's not based off of any folklore, by the way. So in reference to how I have many muses as well as the fact that I create a lot, I thought it'd be a cool concept to translate into a VTuber. She'd probably have lore about how she created many things and made little mini pocket dimensions, or universes. Not sure what the right word is. So after figuring that out, I thought it'd be cool to give her like a halo ring thing behind her head, and I kind of wanted her to look ethereal. Not sure how well I did, but this is just the first round of concepts and nothing is ever perfect. The third concept, I struggled to think of something as I always do. Eventually, I settled on something that looked a bit more traditional, if you can even call it that. Of course, there are a few modifications to the design. I put the third character in Vietnamese Ao Dai because it's actually really pretty, but also because I myself am Vietnamese, so it could potentially be a cool little thing. Of course, her design was looking a little plain, so I did add a shawl and some marks on her face. She was kind of giving off an ancient spirit who wanders around the mortal realm for whatever reason, so I guess that just became her concept. So the final concept I decided to do was pretty much inspired by Cupid. I thought the whole Cupid lovecore aesthetic was really cute, so I wanted to try my hand at making a design for it. I think this one ended up super cute and I loved how it turned out. I kind of like myself for the heart halo veil idea because it just adds to the design. Of course, all of these designs, excluding the third one, ended up pretty detailed, so I knew I was going to be in for a lot of grief when I eventually chose a final design for the VTuber. Of course, after pretty much finishing these designs, I'd eventually have to choose a concept to go with. For obvious reasons, I couldn't go for all of them and I'm extremely indecisive. I kinda had things I liked with all of them, but of course, only one could be the actual design. Here is a better look at the first round of concepts. I asked two of my friends to pick a design they liked and surprisingly, they both said the same thing. They liked the second design of the minor deity, so that was now the direction I was going to go. Though I did mention having a soft spot for mermaids, so I did a compromise and said that she lives among some of her creations and takes the form of a mermaid, but this design we see is her actual form. After finalizing the direction I was going to go, I could have honestly moved on and just made a reference sheet, but you know what they say, never go with your first idea. So I decided to try and make 4 more concepts with this direction in mind. I obviously had the first concept, which is this one, so no surprises there. The second one is the same outfit, but I decided to change the hair. I initially did this fringe thing, but then I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. So I changed it to be kind of a Hime cut again, and I guess it was in reference to that third concept I made. Then I decided to change things up again and sweep the bangs to the side a slight bit. The third and fourth designs would keep the same hair, but I'll change up the clothes while keeping some of the core elements in mind, that being the side wings as well as the halo behind her head. It was actually tough coming up with similar yet different designs. After all, you don't want things to just look like a copy and paste, or else what's the point? So for the third design, I gave her 2 halos because that might be cool. Let's ignore that it looks a little lopsided though. This is just a sketch and I swear I'll fix it when I actually make the reference sheet. For the side wings, I made them more like angel wings, if that even makes sense. Basically, rather than geometric shapes, they just look like parts of a wing. Of course, I kept the gems because it was seeming a little empty. Figuring out the clothes was tough and I was experimenting a bit. Then, as usual, I started winging it. There were a lot of parts of the design that seemed plain to me, so I was trying to add detail. I know they say less is more, but I don't know. This felt kind of empty. Usually for the tops, they don't have much, and so I really did just add random things. They don't make much sense for the design, and if you asked me about the lore, I wouldn't know. Now for the arm sleeves, I figured that I should keep them long and flowy because that was kind of the core element of the original design. Also kept the dress extremely long too. I guess another important thing was looking a bit sleek. Well, I think she kind of has a sleek design, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, this one was a struggle to do, but it turned out pretty nicely. Alright, so I yapped a lot about the previous design, so there's not a lot of time to explain the fourth one. I don't know what I was doing when it came to designing the outfit. However, there was one thing I knew I wanted to try and it was adding a veil to that halo, just like what I did for the Cupid design. I think the fourth design is really pretty. It almost reminds me of a queen, but seeing as I was against saying she was some all-powerful goddess, it probably didn't fit very well. Still, I liked all of the designs, so I once again needed help deciding the final design. Here are all of the final concepts I ended up with. Now sure, I could have asked my friends for help again, but you know what'd be more fun? Bothering my followers to decide for me. I don't have a large following on Instagram at all, but it would be nice to still get people involved. So I put up a poll on my story. And here's the screenshot from the poll. As you can see here, people liked the third design. But I had like 1 vote on the first and second designs. Nobody voted for the fourth design, but that's fine. So that means the final design for my VTuber is going to be this one. So next video, I'll be working on coloring as well as the reference sheet. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. You'll definitely want to subscribe if you want to tune in to the next part of this. Anyways, hopefully I'll see everyone on that video.